Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I am Asha Biz. Today I welcome you all in the second part of the first chapter of Geography Class 8 Resources. Dear students, so let's begin with the second part of this chapter. Before starting this second part, let me remind you what we all have studied in the first part. We studied about the resources, the meaning of resources, the kind of resources, a glimpse we took. In the second part of this presentation, we'll study more about the resources. So let's begin. Abiotic and biotic resources. Abiotic resources are non-living resources, while biotic resources are the living resources. Okay, these are the, we are talking about the abiotic and biotic resources. Soil, rock and minerals are abiotic resources because they are non-living things. Plants and animals are biotic resources because they are living things. Abiotic and biotic resource, they are very simple, very easy to understand. In abiotic, you can include the non-living resources, and in biotic resources, you can include the living resources. These are the example, or you can say the picture of the abiotic resource, the minerals, the non-metallic minerals. These are the abiotic resources because these are non-living. Then we'll have a picture of the biotic resources, animals, birds, plants. These are the biotic resources as they are living. Then comes ubiquitous and localized resources. Ubiquitous, okay, that is ubiquitous, and localized resources. Ubiquitous resources, actually dear students, these resources are found everywhere. Okay, they are found everywhere, like the air we breathe. Okay, as we are here in Ranikhet, we are breathing air. Okay, whenever we move out, like in other places, there also we'll breathe air. Means air is a resource which is present everywhere. So that is why it is known as ubiquitous resource. And localized resource, as the name itself explaining its meaning, localized resources are those resources which are famous in a particular area. Like if we talk about the Himalayan mountains, they are present in the north of India. When we talk about the plants, suppose we talk about the desert areas, okay, these are the places where these resources are particularly found, not in every place. So these, you can say, take example of copper and iron. They are present only in few places. Okay, these are the definitions. You can see ubiquitous resources, the resources that can be found everywhere. For example, air, light, water. Wherever you go, you can find all these things. Then localized resources are those resources can be found only in a certain parts of the world. For example, copper and iron ore, thermal power plant, etc. These are found in a particular place. Okay, so that's why these are known as localized resources. Here next comes the renewable resources. Renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly. Okay, they are renewed and replenished quickly. For example, the solar and wind energy, they can be reproduced. Okay, again and again they can be renewed. Now non-renewable resources. Renewable resources that can be renewed, non-renewable resources that cannot be renewed because they are fixed in number. Okay, these resources are exhaustible. They can be completely vanished from earth if we'll use them unnecessarily, or if we will not be careful while using these resources. So those resources which are present in limited stock and once exhausted may take thousands of years to renew. For example, coal and petrol. If we'll use excessive amount of these coal and petrol, okay, then what will happen? After a certain period of time, they will be finished from the earth. We have to conserve the resources, otherwise non-renewable resources will get exhausted, खत्म हो जाएंगे पूरी तरह से ये, and people will face a shortage of food and shelter, and due to that people will start facing many difficulties in their life. So we should be using these resources very carefully so that our future generation can also enjoy these resources like we are enjoying today. Here you can see the pictures of non-renewable resources like fossil fuels, nuclear energy, coal and natural gases. They are exhaustible. They are limited on earth. Here the flow chart is showing again the resources, the renewability and origin. The classification which we studied throughout the presentation, like renewable, non-renewable, natural, human and human-made resources, biotic and abiotic resources, actual and potential resources. This flow chart can help you in understanding the concept better as well as in learning the types of resources as per the renewability, as per the use, as per the origin as well as per the source. If we talk about renewability, as per the renewability they are renewable and non-renewable. As per use they are actual and potential resources. As per sources they are natural, human made and human resources. As per origin they are biotic and abiotic resources. Now resource conservation. Very important point in this chapter, that these resources are very important for each and every person. Okay, as they are very important and they are limited in number, so what we should be doing? We should be taking care of these resources. How? By protecting them or by conserving them. Resource conservation is the concept of using resources carefully so that they do not end up quickly, okay, so that they cannot be finished. We are required to ensure that, and what are the things we need to do? First, all uses of renewable resources are sustainable. The diversity of life on the earth is conserved, okay. Sustainable resources, all uses of renewable resources are sustainable, okay, and diversity of life on earth is conserved. The damage to the natural environment system is minimized. How we can conserve it? By sustaining the use of renewable resources, by conserving the diversity of life on earth, like we need to keep the wild animals, the birds as well as other natural resources safe, or by harming the natural resources, you can say by removing the things which are harming the natural resources, by not harming the natural resources but by removing the objects or things from the earth which are harming the natural resources, okay. Like how can we remove the things from earth which can which are harming the natural resources? Like the use of plastic. If we remove plastic from earth, if we stop using it, then if we'll stop using it, nobody is going to produce it. अगर हम यूज ही नहीं करेंगे तो हम इसको कोई भी प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाएगा. सो रिमूविंग सच आइटम्स फ्रॉम अर्थ सो दैट नेचर कैन बी सिक्योर्ड और kept safe. Now there are few R's which are very important. First is refuse. Refuse means refusing a particular item to use. Reduce means whatever thing you are using, reduce the quantity of that particular object. Then comes reuse, means reusing the things. Like The water can be reused again and again. Okay, the water which you have used to wash your fruits and vegetables, later it can be sprinkled in the garden. Okay, in other purposes also that water can be used. Recycle, recycling the objects. And rot, these 5 R's are very important while conserving the resources present on earth. So what, as conclusion, I would like to add here that what we have studied in this chapter, we have studied the resources, the meaning of resources, the types of resources, okay, the utility value of resources we studied. We studied about the natural resources, the human made resources, the human resources. Then we studied about, as per the origin, the classification of resources we studied. As per origin, they are biotic and abiotic. Okay, then we studied about the renewable and non-renewable resources. Then we studied ubiquitous or localized resources. Then in detail we studied about the human made resources and human resources. Then finally we studied how to conserve our resources, how to keep the resources safe. So this is all about the chapter today. Hope you understood the concept. We'll soon meet with other chapters of geography, class 8th. Till then, take care and have a good day.